Modelled writing lesson, which is our first model write for a task 2 topic, and today it will be on the common task 2 topic of environment. Once again, I'll be showing you the writing process from the very start, receiving the question, all the way through to completing the essay. Before we take a look at the question, here is our features checklist. In red, we have our task achievement and cohesion and coherence features. And underneath in green, we have vocabulary and grammar. Let's take a look from the top. So we have, as I taught to you in an earlier lesson, the 3-sentence introduction. Then we have our 2 support paragraphs where you'll be adding all your detail. And of course a conclusion, whether that's 1 sentence or 2, depending if you need to give your opinion. We've also got clear ordering, which I mean structure. It means, are you clearly answering the question in your body paragraphs by discussing things in a logical order? And of course we need to include examples in our task 2 essay, and I'll be showing you how to do that in this lesson. Underneath we have topic specific vocabulary, and this will highly test your understanding of synonyms. Then we have interesting sentence openers, which will help to organize your writing, and of course a mix of sentence types. So that is all for our features checklist. Again, if you're writing essays for other task 2 questions, I suggest using this to give you some idea about what you need to include. Again, this isn't the whole feature checklist of everything that you must include, but it is 8 clear features that I think you should try and get into your reports. Okay, let's take a look at this question. Human activity has had a negative effect on ecosystems, animals, and plants across the world. Some people believe this cannot be changed, while others feel that we can still take action to protect living things and the environment. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. As with any task 2 question, you must identify what type of question it is that you will need to answer. Here I can see that this type of question is a discussion of both sides of a point of thinking. And I'm also being asked to give my opinion, which I must include in my conclusion. So now that I've identified the question type, it's time to move on to writing a plan. So let's do that now. In our plans for a task 2 essay, we need to include quite simply what we will write in each body paragraph and what we will write in our opinion if you've been asked to give one. So I need to discuss both sides. So paragraph 1 will be people who believe it cannot be changed. And I'm going to discuss why they might think that. I'll put 2 main points here. I think first I will talk about growing economies across the world. Economies across the world. Factories and growth, that kind of thing. My second point would be to say the high total population across the world, which makes it difficult to control how we protect the environment. In paragraph 2, as I'm being asked to discuss both sides, I will talk about the people who believe they can help the environment, and I'm going to talk about some specific ideas and give examples. I think first I'm going to talk about clean energy, such as, let's say, solar energy. So I can talk about that and discuss why it's a great thing and people believe that it will help. And for my second point, I think I will discuss Banning plastic bags. That's definitely something that we've heard a lot about in recent news. Okay, so that's my plan for the 2 body paragraphs, and I have been asked to give my opinion, and I'm definitely in favour of helping the environment. So I can say, I believe we can make a positive impact. And of course I can develop that a little bit in my essay. Okay, so that is my plan complete for this task 2 question. It's now time that we move on to our writing. To begin our task 1 report, we will need to include our 3-sentence introduction paragraph. Now, we learnt about this a few lessons earlier, and if you can't remember exactly what the 3-sentence introduction is, I do suggest you go back and have another look. But quite simply, the sentences are paraphrase, plan, and outline. So that's what I will do to kick off my essay. I'll begin by paraphrasing the question. Human activity has had a negative effect on ecosystem, animals, and plants across the world. So let's begin. A synonym for human activity. Let's say human beings have had a damaging, instead of negative, a damaging impact instead of effect on the environment and all living things on our planet. There you go. So there is our first sentence in the introduction, which simply paraphrases the question. We now move on to the plan sentence of the introduction, where we'll simply say what we will be doing in this essay. So, in this essay, I will discuss, as this is a discussion essay, both sides of public opinion to helping or not helping protect the environment further. Quite simply, that's just telling the examiner what I will be doing in this essay. It also signals to the IELTS examiner that I understand what type of question this is. And finally, we'll move on to our outline sentence. The outline sentence simply tells the examiner what we will be including in our body paragraph. So, as you should always do, firstly, I will discuss why people feel they can no longer help help living things and their local environment. I'm just trying to find new synonyms to add here. And secondly, and make sure we're spelling things correctly. And secondly, I will explore instead of discuss, what action people are taking to benefit the natural world instead of environment. So already I'm kind of using some topic specific vocabulary, which is great. Okay, so let's have a read back of my introduction paragraph. Human beings have had a damaging impact on the environment and all living things on our planet. In this essay, I will discuss both sides of public opinion to helping or not helping protect the environment further. Firstly, I will discuss why people feel they can no longer help living things and their local environment. And secondly, I will explore what action people are taking to benefit the natural world. In my first body paragraph, I will discuss discuss why people think that it cannot be changed. And you remember in my plan I was discussing, or I noted down, developing economies and also world population, which is something I can talk about in my first body paragraph. You'll remember from an earlier lesson that I was talking about topic sentences, support sentences, and example sentences. So I want to include those in this write-up here. So let's start off with an opener for this. Many people feel that they can no longer help the environment due to rapidly developing economies. Okay, so we've made our topic sentence. So we're going to be talking about rapidly developing economies. Now we can add more detail with a support sentence. So we can say many of these countries that are becoming industrialized. Again, more topic-specific vocabulary. Excuse my spelling there, and British spelling with an S. Many of these countries that are becoming industrialized rely on factories to produce and create goods. Okay, so now I can move on to my example sentence. We can say, for example, which we will have to start off our example sentence. For example, some Asian countries produce many goods for the West, which in turn, and I'll just check that spelling again there, which in turn creates pollution, but also jobs for poorer people. Let's say that. Okay, so that's my topic, support, and example sentence. Let's move on to my second point, which is about world populations. Let's begin with another reason people feel helpless to help the Earth is due to rising population levels. And now I want a support sentence. So let's say it is difficult to say whether we can sustain such huge numbers of inhabitants on our planet. Now I want to give a specific example about this idea of high population levels. I think we could talk about producing food. It takes a lot of energy to produce food. And it may be that we are already too highly populated to feed everyone. So that's my reasoning for why people think it cannot be helped that we can save the Earth. Okay, so let's move on to my second body paragraph, which is going to talk about people who believe we can still save the Earth. So in my plan, I think the first point I made was about solar energy. So let's talk about that. We'll create a topic sentence now to introduce the topic of solar energy. Let's start with, on the other hand, there are many people who feel we can still help our environment by using technology such as solar power. And the support sentence, so add a bit more detail. Solar power is a renewable energy that, and of course check your spelling, one moment, renewable renewable energy. That has no negative effect on the natural world. Okay, that's my support sentence. Now maybe we could give an example. For example, again, if we could use more renewable energies, we could provide power and electricity for more people without hurting the environment. Okay, so that gives an example about how solar power could help lots of people. And let's move on to my second point, which was talking about plastic bags. I might not add a support and example sentence here, as I need to think about whether I'm writing too much. I don't want to go too far over the word limit. I might just write a topic and example sentence. So 2 more sentences here. So we could say many countries are also now banning the use of plastic bags, such as India. I've included an example there in my topic sentence. And let's give an example for why this is a positive thing. Let's get a sentence opener to give support to this topic sentence. Consequently, a great way to add further information. Consequently, India's cities and local wildlife have become healthier and cleaner. So I've just used a topic and example sentence here to add more detail to my second body paragraph. Let's move on to our conclusion, which is going to have 2 sentences. So my conclusion will begin with a paraphrased sentence to give an overview of the whole essay. It is clear to see that we are facing many challenges in protecting the environment in our modern world. Okay, so I've kind of paraphrased that, it is quite difficult. There are different ideas. Some people believe one thing and other people believe another thing. So it's a challenging situation to be in. So that's my first sentence. And now I want to give my opinion, which is in support of this. In my opinion, and you can always begin your opinion sentence like this. In my opinion, comma, I feel very strongly about ensuring the safety and well-being of our planet. And feel, just add a bit more detail and of course a different kind of sentence. And feel that governments worldwide should make this their top priority. Okay, priority, excuse me. There we go. So, we've read the introduction. Let's read back from our first body paragraph here. Many people feel that they can no longer help the environment due to rapidly developing economies. Many of these countries that are becoming industrialized rely on factories to produce and create goods. For example, some Asian countries produce many goods for the West, which in turn creates pollution, but also jobs for poorer people. And let's move on to my second point. Another reason people feel helpless to help the Earth is due to rising population levels. And here's a support sentence. It is difficult to say whether we can sustain such huge numbers of inhabitants on our planet. It takes a lot of energy to produce food, and it may be that we are already too highly populated to feed everyone. And here's my second body paragraph discussing the feeling that we can help the Earth. On the other hand, there are many people who feel we can still help our environment by using technology such as solar panel, which is the first idea I want to discuss. Solar power is a renewable energy that has no negative effect on the natural world. For example, if we could use more renewable energies, we could provide power and electricity for more people without hurting the environment. Many countries are also now banning the use of plastic bags, such as India. Plastic bags is my second idea I want to discuss for helping the earth. Consequently, India's cities and local wildlife have become healthier and cleaner. It is clear to see that we are facing many challenges in protecting the environment in our modern world. In my opinion, I feel very strongly about ensuring the safety and well-being of our planet, and feel that governments worldwide should make this their top priority. So there is my opinion in that final sentence there. Let's take a quick look through the features checklist. So, 3-sentence introduction we definitely have. 2 support or body paragraphs. Yes, we have those. A conclusion. Yes, we have, including the opinion that we were asked to give here. Examples. I definitely gave plenty of examples, such as India, which has banned plastic bags, and, good for India. And here, topic-specific vocabulary, definitely I've got words such as environment and government, solar power, renewable energy. So I've got lots of topic-specific vocabulary. Sentence openers, on the other hand, it is clear to see, and I'm sure we've got more examples in here, and a mix of sentence types. I've definitely included a mix of simple, compound, and complex structures. So overall, I think I've done quite a good job in writing a well-structured and reasonably well-detailed essay on this question on the environment. So that's all for this modelled writing lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson.